34. That's the number of charges against Donald Trump. Not one, not two, but 34. For the former president, America is now a nation in decline and a third world country.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. Incredibly, we are now a failing nation. We are a nation in decline.
Trump took to social media too. On his app Truth Social, he said, and I'm quoting, "This seems so surreal. Wow, they're going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America." And this is what he was talking about. It's one for the history books. This is the moment when Donald Trump was charged. The first time in American history a former president was slapped with criminal charges. This is Donald Trump sitting before a judge inside a criminal court with his legal team. And it was a strange day for him. He was at the center of attention again, but not in the way that he's used to. Moments before this picture was taken, Donald Trump appeared before a district attorney. He was arrested, his fingerprints were taken, and he was produced before a judge. Then Trump was allowed to go home. But this is just the beginning of his legal troubles. What's happening in America is truly unprecedented. For the first time, a former president has been arrested. He's facing criminal charges. Donald Trump, of course, says he's not guilty. His case will begin soon, and these hearings will test America's democracy. Next year, the U.S. will pick its next president. There is a presidential election, and the case against Donald Trump could define that race. Will he gain support from this legal scrutiny? Or will this case push Donald Trump into political oblivion? It's hard to say, really. But here are the facts of the case, starting with the charges against Trump. Technically, there are 34 charges, but fundamentally, this case has been built on two pillars. Donald Trump is accused of orchestrating a hush money scheme. It paved the way for his presidency. And once Trump was inside the White House, he tried to cover up the scheme. What is the basis of these charges? Donald Trump apparently had an affair with a porn star called Stormy Daniels in 2006. In 2016, Trump made payments to her, a total of $130,000. And what was this payment for? To remain silent. Apparently, Daniels wanted to speak out. She wanted to sell her story to the media, but Trump's lawyer intervened. His name is Michael Cohen. He was Trump's lawyer then. And he paid Stormy Daniels $130,000. She was asked to keep quiet, and she did. 12 days later, Trump won the 2016 election. And all these years later, the hush money payment has landed him in trouble. Trump is accused of falsifying his business records. He reimbursed Cohen for the $130,000 payment. But in his own account books, Donald Trump showed this as legal fee. And that's a lie. And that is why there's a case against him today. Here's how the prosecutor described the case against Donald Trump.
Everyone stands equal before the law. No amount of money and no amount of power changes that enduring American principle. The defendant repeatedly made false statements no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
So what happens next? The proceedings will be a long, drawn-out process. When is the next hearing? 4th of December. It's still far away. The trial will begin in January 2024. It could extend well into the presidential election in the U.S., and it could go on well beyond that election too. And what happens if Trump is found guilty? At this point, it could go anywhere. Donald Trump could face a fine, or he could go to prison. The maximum prison sentence in such cases is 4 years. But will that stop Trump from running in 2024? Not at all. Even if Trump, as president, goes to jail, the law allows him to run the government from behind bars. That is, of course, if Trump becomes president again. So guilty or not guilty, he can contest the election and he can remain in public office. Which brings us to the next question. Can he win this election? How will this case impact his chances? Will he still have a mass following in the U.S.? As of today, Donald Trump's core supporter base looks intact. They are behind him. Yesterday, he tried to provoke them by painting himself as a political martyr. He says the charges against him amount to election interference.
Our elections were like those of a third world country. And now this massive election interference at a scale never seen before in our country. They attacked me with an onslaught of fraudulent investigations. Russia, Russia, Russia. Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Impeachment hoax number 1. Impeachment hoax number 2. The illegal and unconstitutional raid on Mar-a-Lago right here.
As president, Donald Trump survived 2 impeachments, and that too was a first for any US president. Now he's been charged. Can he win this legal battle? Donald Trump is banking on his supporters to ride this storm.